What's going on, everybody? My name is Jaime, and I'm here with my friend Issa right here.
Hello.
And today we're gonna be scrolling through the scary story subreddit because you want to. A couple of you guys might want to get scared in quarantine. You never know. But yeah, let's get to it. And this is also my first time actually doing this type of stuff. I'm not Chills or Mr. Nightmare, so it's gonna be an experience. Let's get to it. The man with the red hat. Throughout my early childhood, my sister had financed herself a medium. She was always running into my room, telling me in hysterics about seeing something or the other whilst in the kitchen. When I was much smaller, I fully believed her, and we would stay up all night building a blanket fort as a way of shielding us from the ghost. That's like every little kid. Who doesn't build blanket forts? Okay. This sounds stupid, but it distracted us enough to forget about how scared we were. Well, this was when I was about 8 and my sister 11. So for years after, I'd assumed she'd grown out of it. One day, my friend George was staying the night with me. We had been up for a while, playing Halo together and pissing ourselves with laughter. We eventually built our fort and fell asleep at around 4 in the morning. This is where it gets freaky. I remember the dream vividly. My sister was sitting in the room with us, crying. Me, being the great brother I am, told her to fuck off and go to sleep.
Oh my god.
Suddenly, she looked at me and kept saying, "There's a man with a red hat," over and over. I was really sleepy, so I said back, "Just sleep in here," and I put my head down. I woke up abruptly to George hitting me with the pillow. I got up and asked angrily why he did that, but cut myself off when I heard crying from the room next to me. We both went to see what was going on, and when we came in, we saw my sister crying. We went over and asked her what was going on, and she told us about her waking up to see a man with a red hat standing on the road, looking into her window. Jesus Christ. George was freaked out, but I was shaken to my core. Looking back at my childhood, I believe my sister's stories to be bullshit, just a way to get attention. But after having a dream I can remember, 5 years later, I honestly believed there was a ghost in our house that day.
Is that it?
Yeah. Alright. That story was okay. Weird talking. Alright. This happened not long ago, in December. I remember it was on the 6th of December 2019. I was laying in bed and couldn't fall asleep. Sometimes happened to me for some reason. I don't know what time it was. I might have fallen asleep, but then woke up and checked my phone. It was around 2 or 3 a.m. I quickly went to the bathroom, unnoticeable, and came back. Turned off the lights and tried to sleep. Maybe 20 or 30 minutes of trying to fall asleep, I still couldn't sleep. But then I heard someone talking. I don't remember what it said, but for any reason I was calm and simply responded with whatever I did respond with. I thought it was just my brother playing some kind of prank on me. But then I got out of bed, turned around to see nothing. There was nothing in my room, only my cat who was sleeping. This still haunts me to this day, and I have no idea who made that noise.
The only thing that stuck with me was the cat.
What if the cat talked?
Oh my gosh, like in Coraline?
What if it was a cat being like, "Hey, yo, what's up, bro?" Fictional story. I think it's real. I'm pretty sure it's real. Super
You
real.
don't know. Maybe it's actually fictional.
I remember from my childhood a lot of trauma and confusion to do with my parents. My dad divorced my mom when I was around 13 years old, and that's when the traumatic experiences ended. From that, you'd guess my mom was to blame, but no, I could never blame her for what happened to me. I just couldn't. It wasn't her somehow, and I knew it in my gut. Here's a couple memories and an explanation of my trauma. My mom was always a very spiritual person, always gentle and very delicate and fragile woman. She'd often involve me in some of her spiritual practices. For example, she'd always teach me about palm readings and what they meant for your future. But as well as the innocent spiritual practices she practiced, she was forever indulged in the spirit world. My mom lost her mother, my grandma, at a very young age, when she died of cancer. Ever since my mom got into spiritual practices, she had her eyes on Ouija boards. My dad was not so fond of this side of my mom, as he felt it was possible danger to the family, and didn't like me learning about that type of thing. One evening, my mom had practiced trying to reach her mother through a Ouija board like she often did, and as usual was successful. But for the first time, something happened that night and started my trauma. It was about 4 a.m., and I woke up to hear a shovel outside my window, hitting solid gravel. Whoa. Confused, I looked out the window to see my mom jamming a metal shovel into the patio floor. With the strange
What the heck?
with the strange and immense amount of strength, almost splitting through each tile. A couple of minutes later, my dad obviously awoke to the
What?
teeth-grating
Oh,
sound
I was like, oh my god.
and ran downstairs to take my mom inside. The next day, she told us she had no recollection of ever going outside. After this, a line of strange events followed. I think about a week later, if I remember correctly, I was at school and I was waiting for my mom to pick me up, like she usually did. But the school pickup zone slowly began to empty. As everyone was taken home, I stood at the end of the pavement, waiting patiently. It wasn't like my mother was to be late to picking me up. She'd always been punctual and very protective of me. It wasn't until 15 minutes later that she came limping up to the pavement, toward the school, bloodied, and what I remember looked like a broken arm. Whoa. All I remember her doing was screaming and swearing, but with a heavy
Oh my God.
accent of some sort, as she spotted me and began pacing up the pavement towards me. The way she was walking scared me. She walked straight past me and into the school as if she was chasing someone inside. About 20 minutes later, I called my dad and told him what happened, only to hear that my mom was at home with my dad and was eating dinner. They said they
What the
thought I
heck?
was... What the fuck? That's so weird. What the heck? They said they thought I was at a club after school, as the lady had rung up supposedly from my school 2 minutes before pickup time, saying that I was, when I certainly wasn't. The last incident I have to talk about is the one that scarred me to this day. It was late night one night when I was still up with a stomach bug, thrown up, with my dad sleeping in the same room to look after me for the night. When suddenly we heard a loud scream from downstairs in the dining room, and a continuous thumping, like a heavy-footed person was pacing the house downstairs. My dad left to find out what was happening. I heard screaming and shouting before I heard a tiny, incredibly fast, little footsteps clambering up the stairs. What I saw has given me anxiety since. My mom was crouched down, on all fours, bleeding from her arms and running incredibly fast on her hands and knees towards my room. I remember screaming out for help but throwing up at the same time.
Why are you
Why
laughing?
is this funny? Whether that was fear or being ill, I don't know. But when I looked back up, she was gone. And all I could hear now was arguing between my parents and smashing of wood. I come downstairs 10 minutes later to find my mom's Ouija board smashed to pieces and my mom in the car outside, crying her eyes out. My dad explained that he was sending my mom away because she'd brought something horrific into the house. I was confused at that age, not understanding anything. I'm now 22 and my mom's probably still out there somewhere. I still don't believe the horrific person I saw in these incidents were my mom. Sure, it looked like a copy of her, but it wasn't her. I could tell, and I knew my mom couldn't control this. I now wonder whether this was a result of the Ouija board and whether she invited some sort of evil spirit into the house.
Wait, how old was he? Because the person at the front desk or whatever was like, oh, he's going to the club.
He was... Let's
Okay.
just say he was... Oh, he was 13.
What the heck? You know, that story also reminded me of the time I had to walk home in the rain with my older brother from elementary school because my grandma forgot
Mm-hmm.
to pick us up. It was down the street, so. But it made me think of that. I remember when we went, like, to our apartment door, like, she was like, just opening it, and she was like, what the heck? We're just like, oh, hi.
We're just... Oh, hi. Yeah, I remember...
Yeah, that's it.
I remember, I had to... This was 5th grade, I'm pretty sure. I was walking back from karate with my mom and my sister.
Karate? Oh.
Yeah, because I went to karate in 5th grade. Whoa! And, I remember I was barefoot because I didn't have socks, and my dumbass didn't want to put on shoes, so I walked back to school barefoot.
Oh my God.
Back home barefoot.
I was like, were you just gonna go to school barefoot?
I walked back home barefoot. Good thing it was like 2 blocks away though.
That's
And
still a lot.
all I remember my mom saying was when we were crossing the street, like that was near my house.
Mhm.
She just said run, and I was scared. I'm all like, why? She just said, Jaime, Melissa, run, and so we all started running home. And I remember we got home, and I asked her, why did you want us to run? And she's all like, there was a guy following us.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, just because I wanted to. Wanted you guys to, but never mind.
No, oh my god.
Creepy.
It was creepy. I'm all like, the hell? And yeah, it definitely got me scared though, not gonna lie. Alright, but yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for me. I'm shook. Not really. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want me to do more, just let me know. And yeah, just,
Yeah.
yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
This is Jaime signing off.